reason that this cheese is so good for beginners is because it doesn't require any fancy equipment. It is pretty straightforward to make. It's just over 24-hour period of time. It's really inexpensive and it is versatile. You can do all kinds of things with Quark. I am going to make cheesecake. It's dark in here. Come on, out. Hey, Danny. All right, so this is milk from a couple days ago and I already skimmed it, I think. Yeah, it was skimmed. It's a low-fat cheese. You can make it high-fat. You could use whole milk if you wanted, 2%, whatever you have. I just happen to have a bucket of skim. This is going into the kettle. I'm going to heat it up to 85 degrees. It will come up to temp fairly quick, so watch it. Now for Quark, you need mesophilic culture. You can either use mesophilic whey. For 1 gallon of milk, you would use 1/4 cup of mesophilic whey. Or you can use a freeze-dried culture, 1/8 teaspoon per gallon. Or you can use buttermilk, which is what I'm going to use, cultured buttermilk. It's store-bought because it's cultured. I don't make my own cultured buttermilk. And 85. 2 tablespoons of the buttermilk. It's 2 drops of rennet, and I literally mean 2 drops. You don't want this to set up into a hard cheese, like you don't want firm curds. You want this to be like a soft set cheese. So it's just 2 drops of rennet per gallon of milk. It's like that, basically invisible. I might take a little bit of it out because I think I got a little bit much in it. Dilute it with a little bit of water, just so it disperses easier in the milk. So I am now going to get it straight away back into this gallon jar. Lid goes on, and this is just gonna set in the corner of the counter overnight. It's been 13 hours, so here I'll show you what the Quark looks like. The whey is coming out around there, and then down here's the cheese. Take a bread knife or anything long that would work to reach down in and just cut it into 1-inch cubes. Smells good. Very, very mild. Let this sit for just several minutes to set up. To strain it, put a kettle in to catch the whey. And then a colander. And then a cheesecloth. So you're going to tie it up into a pouch like this. Tie it into a ponytail. It's gonna snap, I can just feel it. It's gonna make a huge splash when it breaks. John, help me. Whoa, it is already leaking so much whey. Update, it does not work to do a rubber band. Do a knot instead. Like that, and then do one more up top. See if this works. So here's the system. We have a little knob under here, and then there's this S hook that is wrapped in plastic so that it doesn't get rusty on the material. This is knotted several times. Hopefully that'll hold. There's a gallon of curds and then the whey. So this whey will come out fairly quickly. So I am going to empty it right now because I'm gonna leave and I don't want it to overflow or be sitting in its whey. If you wanted to make more Quark, save this whey and use 1/4 cup of this to start your next batch, and that would be your mesophilic culture. So in place of the buttermilk, just use this whey. You could save it in the fridge for several days, just date it and make Quark off of it as much as you want. Gonna let it hang for 6 hours, come back around lunchtime. So you can see it's all shriveled up. There's the whey. in the bottom. I'm gonna feed that to the pigs. Still dripping, I could just see drips. It feels pretty dry, it's not soggy, but it's still soft and pliable. And you can see how much it has shrunk. It has really shrunk. I always wanna say it's such a lark in the park with Quark, but I won't say that. So there you go. So cool looking. So let's weigh this. Oh, 1 pound, 10 ounces. It is a fairly large amount. And now you just want to mash it up, break it up. This is the cheese. Taste it. Yep, just tastes like a mild cheese. I do not like how chunky it is, how dry on the outside and more wet on the inside. So I'm gonna really work that in. I'm also gonna salt it, about a teaspoon of salt. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get my masher. I feel like this needs to be blended up, and I did not have to do this the other times I have made it. People, sometimes things don't go according to plan. Most times, actually. The texture is a little bit weird because the outside edge was dry and on the inside was wet. And I don't know if that's because I accidentally maybe got 3 drops of rennet in, or if it's because I let it culture overnight for 13 hours and maybe it should have been more like 8 hours. It is summertime, it is 65, 70 degrees, 75, it's probably like 80 in here right now. So I don't know. I do not want a cheesecake that has chunkies in it. So I'm going to put this in my food processor and blitz the hell out of it, or the chunkies anyway. Other things you can do with Quark, you can put it in quiche, just crumbled up in quiche with the cheese. I'm sorry, the neighbor is mowing. You could add it to pancakes, like when you're mixing up the eggs and the oil and the milk, you could just throw in some Quark. You can put it in a baked French toast. Put it in lasagna. You can layer it in your lasagna. You can add herbs to it and make dips and drizzle it with olive oil. You can, I don't know, crumble it onto your eggs. You can do what you want with this. Oh my goodness, that is satin. I have not had luck making cream cheese yet. My cream cheese always separates. Here, I'll show you. This is a jar of skimmed cream. Cream that I skimmed from the milk. And as it sits, there's a line right here where this is all cream up here, and so there's still a little bit of milk. Because it is unhomogenized, I always get some separation, and as the cream is culturing, it separates, and then you get in your cream cheese, in your final product, little flecks of white cheese amidst the cream cheese, like little nubbies of actual milk cheese in the cream cheese. If you make cream cheese from store-bought homogenized cream, it will be fine. But I just have trouble with the raw milk cream. You can make a cheesecake that's 100% Quark, but it tastes different in that it is less rich, it is more satisfying, it is more like a real food. I've actually had people tell me they prefer cheesecake made with the Quark because cheesecake from cream cheese is too decadent, too rich, and it just makes them feel a little bit sick. You eat this and it's good. The other thing is you serve it with like a berry sauce and it's basically breakfast. Like it's milk and fruit. However, what I'm going to do, I'm planning to mix half of mascarpone and half Quark. I have great success with making a beautiful, luscious mascarpone cheese, and I have great success with Quark, so I'm going to put the two of them together in my cheesecake. The recipe calls for 2 pounds of cream cheese. Let's just do half and half and see how it is. So 1 pound of Quark. Oh, look at this. You see how creamy that is? Oh my word, this stuff is amazing. I was so curious to see what this cheesecake is gonna be like. 2 pounds of mascarpone and Quark for my cream cheese base. Quark will last in the fridge when it is salted for maybe up to 2-3 weeks. Good morning, good morning. I haven't had breakfast yet and I am in the mood for some cake because I can't wait to find out how this turned out. So let's see how this is. want to taste it first without the raspberry sauce. This is the edge. Oh, it's good. It's really good. Some with raspberry sauce. Wow. That's too big of a bite. Can't take that big of a bite on camera. That goes down easy. It's different from cream cheese, but it's not like I don't know how to describe it. Like cream cheese is cream cheese and you have that certain cream cheese density to your cheesecakes. This is different. I don't know if other people would notice it if you just serve this. They would just think it's a cheesecake. Oh man, it's super light. It's really good. Hey Nicholas, you want some cheesecake? He doesn't want any cheesecake because I just fed him steak and eggs. Okay, that's all I can eat for breakfast. One more bite. It's super creamy, super soft, rich, but not overly rich. It is not dry. It's really good. I'm reading about Quark because this is what one does when making Quark. I'm always researching things and trying to figure it out, and I want to know if what I told you earlier was correct or not. Here's what it says about Quark. It's pronounced Quark. I don't know, it's German, I can't do it. It's a fresh curd cheese made from skimmed milk. So I used skimmed milk, so that was correct. It accounts for about half the cheese eaten by Germans themselves and has been spreading abroad steadily, helped by its reputation as a suitable food for slimmers. What the heck are slimmers? A version with some of the fat restored to it is called Quark, which means food. So basically, I just made that cheesecake. I had some of the fat restored with mascarpone. I made cheesecake. It's just food. Plain Quark has a neutral taste, which makes it suitable for use in sweet dishes. It is sometimes sold with fruit pulp already mixed into it. So it's kind of like yogurt, but without the tang. There you go. That's about Quark. I really want to finish that piece of cheesecake though for breakfast. If you want to try another cheese that's similar to this, I'm going to recommend that you go and watch the video I did on yogurt cheese. It's a similar concept to what we just did, but it has more of a tang because of the yogurt. And then you go ahead and roll it in herbs or stir herbs into it and you make an herbed cheese, which is fabulous as a dip. And right now, this summertime, you're going to picnics probably and potlucks and you're having parties. This is the perfect cheese to serve and children love it. They go crazy for it. You can also use it as a spread in sandwiches, like a tomato sandwich with this would be fabulous. So go on and make this herbed yogurt cheese. This is what I recommend you watch next.